Welcome to Bible Quiz Tube. Bible enthusiasts, are you ready to test your Old Testament knowledge of the life of Joseph? This quiz features 30 hard questions that would have even the most seasoned Bible student thinking hard. Step into the quiz and discover Joseph's early life, his trials and testing, Joseph's rise to power, his reunion with his brothers, and his final years and legacy. Get ready to dive deep and see how many questions you can answer correctly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a quiz. Share your scores in the comments below. Let the quiz begin. Question 1. In which book of the Old Testament do we primarily find the story of Joseph? A. Numbers. B. Leviticus. C. Exodus. D. Genesis. The correct answer is D. Genesis. The explanation. Joseph's story, a cornerstone of Old Testament narrative, unfolds in Genesis chapters 37 to 50. This Bible account bridges the crucial gap between the Hebrew patriarchs and the Exodus from Egypt. It powerfully demonstrates divine providence and God's covenant faithfulness in preserving His chosen people through trials and tribulations. Question 2. What was the special item of clothing Jacob gave to Joseph, causing jealousy among his brothers? A. A coat of many colors. B. A silver bracelet. C. A royal scepter. D. A golden crown. The correct answer is A. A coat of many colors. The explanation. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, and he made an ornate robe for him. Genesis chapter 37 verse 3. This coat symbolized favor and leadership. It teaches us about the dangers of showing favoritism in families. Question 3. Which of Joseph's brothers tried to save him from being harmed by the others? A. Levi. B. Judah. C. Reuben. D. Simeon. The correct answer is C. Reuben. The explanation. Reuben heard this and tried to rescue him from their hands. Genesis chapter 37 verse 21. As the eldest, Reuben felt responsible for Joseph's safety. This shows how one person can stand for what's right even against group pressure. Question 4. To whom did Joseph's brothers sell him? A. Canaanites. B. Ishmaelites. C. Egyptians. D. Hittites. The correct answer is B. Ishmaelites. The explanation. So when the Midianite merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph up out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites. Genesis chapter 37 verse 28. This tragic betrayal ultimately led to God's greater purpose. It reminds us that God can work through even the worst circumstances. Question 5. After being sold, in which country did Joseph end up living? A. Babylon. B. Syria. C. Canaan. D. Egypt. The correct answer is D. Egypt. The explanation. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Genesis chapter 39 verse 1. Egypt would become the stage for God's preservation of His people. This shows how God often works through unexpected relocations and life changes. Question 6. What position did Potiphar hold in Pharaoh's court? A. High priest. B. Captain of the guard. C. Chief cupbearer. D. Chief baker. The correct answer is B. Captain of the guard. The explanation. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, Genesis chapter 39 verse 1. This position placed Joseph in proximity to power. God often positions us strategically for His future purposes. Question 7. What was the false accusation that led to Joseph's imprisonment in Egypt? A. Attempted assault. B. Conspiracy to overthrow Potiphar. C. Adultery. D. Attempted theft. The correct answer is A. Attempted assault. The explanation. In a pivotal test of biblical character and moral integrity, Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of assault after he fled from temptation, Genesis chapter 39 verses 11 to 20. This righteous servant of God chose spiritual purity over worldly pleasure, demonstrating godly character in the face of persecution. His example teaches modern believers about standing firm in faith and resisting temptation through spiritual warfare. Question 8. Which two royal officials were thrown into prison with Joseph? A. The priest and scribe. B. The guard and steward. C. The baker and cupbearer. D. The butler and cook. The correct answer is C. The baker and cupbearer. The explanation. Pharaoh was angry with his two officials, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, Genesis chapter 40 verse 2. These connections would later prove crucial. God often uses seemingly random encounters to advance His purposes. Question 9. What special skill did Joseph demonstrate that led to his reputation spreading? A. Medical healing. B. Agricultural knowledge. C. Military strategy. D. Dream interpretation. The correct answer is D. Dream interpretation. The explanation. We each had a dream, and Joseph interpreted them for us, Genesis chapter 41 verse 12. This God-given ability became key to Joseph's rise. It shows how spiritual gifts can open doors for greater influence. Question 10. Which official, after being released, eventually remembered Joseph's ability? A. The chief baker. B. The chief priest. C. The chief cupbearer. D. The chief guard. The correct answer is C. The chief cupbearer. The explanation. The chief cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. He forgot him, Genesis chapter 40 verse 23, until Pharaoh needed dream interpretation. God's timing often differs from our expectations. This delay developed Joseph's patience and trust in God's timing. Question 11. What were the two main symbols in Pharaoh's troubling dreams? A. Cows and grain. B. Trees and rivers. C. Stars and moon. D. Birds and fish. The correct answer is A. Cows and grain. The explanation. 7 fat cows and 7 thin cows, 7 healthy ears of grain and 7 withered ones, Genesis chapter 41 verses 1 to 7. These agricultural symbols represented economic cycles. This shows how God can communicate through familiar cultural symbols. You're doing great so far. If you're enjoying the quiz, hit the like button and subscribe for more Bible quiz content. Share your score in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive back in. Question 12. How many years of abundance and famine did Joseph predict? A. 5 years each. B. 10 years each. C. 7 years each. D. 6 years each. The correct answer is C. 7 years each. The explanation. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt, followed by 7 years of famine, Genesis chapter 41 verses 29 to 30. This prediction showed divine foresight. It demonstrates the importance of long-term planning in leadership. Question 13. What position did Pharaoh give Joseph after he interpreted the dreams? A. Chief priest. B. Chief treasurer. C. Royal advisor. D. Second in command. The correct answer is D. Second in command. The explanation. You shall be in charge of my palace, and all my people are to submit to your orders. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you. Genesis chapter 41 verse 40. Joseph's prophetic leadership and divine elevation from prison to palace demonstrates God's sovereign power to transform circumstances. Question 14. What name did Pharaoh give Joseph when elevating him to high office? A. Asenath. B. Zaphanath-Paneah. C. Ramesses. D. Potiphar. The correct answer is B. Zaphanath-Paneah. The explanation. Pharaoh gave Joseph the name Zaphanath-Paneah, Genesis chapter 41 verse 45. This Egyptian name represented Joseph's new identity and authority. It shows how God can give us new identities while maintaining our core calling. Question 15. How old was Joseph when he entered Pharaoh's service? A. 20 years old. B. 30 years old. C. 50 years old. D. 40 years old. The correct answer is B. 30 years old. The explanation. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Genesis chapter 41 verse 46. This represents 13 years of preparation since being sold. It reminds us that God's timing often includes seasons of preparation. Question 16. When famine struck, which of Joseph's brothers first traveled to Egypt to buy grain? A. All except Benjamin. B. Only Reuben and Judah. C. All except Joseph. D. Only the eldest 3. The correct answer is A. All except Benjamin. The explanation. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with the others, Genesis chapter 42 verse 4. Jacob's protectiveness of Benjamin revealed his unhealed grief over Joseph. Past hurts often influence current decisions and relationships. Question 17. Which brother did Joseph initially accuse of being a spy? A. Reuben. B. Levi. C. Simeon. D. All of them. The correct answer is D. All of them. The explanation. You are spies, you have come to see where our land is unprotected. Genesis chapter 42 verse 9. This accusation was part of Joseph's plan to test his brothers. Sometimes confrontation is necessary for genuine reconciliation. Question 18. Which brother did Joseph demand be brought to Egypt as proof of their honesty? A. Levi. B. Judah. C. Reuben. D. Benjamin. The correct answer is D. Benjamin. The explanation. Bring your youngest brother to me so that your words may be verified. Genesis chapter 42 verse 20. Joseph's request tested both his brother's character and his father's trust. True reconciliation often requires demonstrable evidence of change. Question 19. In what hidden way did Joseph test his brother's integrity regarding his silver cup? A. He broke it in front of them. B. He offered it as a gift. C. He planted it in Benjamin's sack. D. He accused them of stealing it. The correct answer is C. He planted it in Benjamin's sack. The explanation. Put my cup, the silver one, in the mouth of the youngest one's sack. Genesis chapter 44 verse 2. This final test revealed whether they would abandon Benjamin as they had abandoned Joseph. True change is demonstrated through actions, not just words. You're doing great so far. If you're enjoying the quiz, hit the like button and subscribe for more Bible quiz content. Share your score in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive back in. Question 20. Which brother offered himself as a servant in place of Benjamin? A. Simeon. B. Reuben. C. Levi. D. Judah. The correct answer is D. Judah. The explanation. Now then, please let your servant remain here as my Lord's slave in place of the boy. Genesis chapter 44 verse 33. Judah's sacrificial intercession represents biblical redemption and spiritual transformation, showing remarkable change from his role in betraying Joseph. Question 21. How did Joseph finally reveal his identity to his brothers? A. By showing his royal seal. B. By dismissing all attendants and weeping. C. Through an interpreter. D. By sending them a message. The correct answer is B. By dismissing all attendants and weeping. The explanation. Joseph could no longer control himself, and he wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard him. Genesis chapter 45 verses 1 to 2. This emotional moment showed Joseph's humanity despite his power. True reconciliation often involves vulnerability and raw emotion. Question 22. How did Pharaoh respond to the news that Joseph's brothers had arrived? A. With suspicion. B. With anger. C. With indifference. D. With generosity. The correct answer is D. With generosity. The explanation. The best of all Egypt will be yours. Genesis chapter 45 verse 20. Pharaoh's generosity reflected Joseph's valued position. God often uses people in authority to bless his people beyond expectation. Question 23. Which region in Egypt did Joseph's family settle in? A. Goshen. B. Thebes. C. Heliopolis. D. Memphis. The correct answer is A. Goshen. The explanation. You shall live in the region of Goshen. Genesis chapter 45 verse 10. This fertile region was perfect for their pastoral lifestyle. God often provides not just basics, but optimal conditions for his people's flourishing. Question 24. Approximately how many of Jacob's direct descendants moved to Egypt? A. 100. B. 50. C. 70. D. 150. The correct answer is C. 70. The explanation. All those who went to Egypt with Jacob, those who were his direct descendants, not counting his sons' wives, numbered 66 persons. Altogether, Jacob's direct descendants, not counting his sons' wives, numbered 70. Genesis chapter 46 verses 26 to 27. This small group would become a great nation. God often starts with small beginnings to accomplish great purposes. Question 25. How did Joseph handle the distribution of food during the famine? A. Reserved it only for Egyptians. B. Sold it for money, livestock, and land. C. Gave it away freely. D. Distributed it by lottery. The correct answer is B. Sold it for money, livestock, and land. The explanation. Joseph collected all the money that was to be found in Egypt and Canaan in payment for the grain. Genesis chapter 47 verse 14. His wise administration saved lives while establishing order. Good stewardship involves both compassion and wisdom. Question 26. What notable event happened right before Jacob died in Egypt? A. He blessed Joseph's sons. B. He made a sacrifice. C. He built an altar. D. He wrote a testament. The correct answer is A. He blessed Joseph's sons. The explanation. Israel reached out his right hand and put it on Ephraim's head, though he was the younger. Genesis chapter 48 verse 14. Jacob's blessing crossed hands, preferring the younger. God's choices often defy human expectations and traditions. Question 27. Which of Joseph's sons did Jacob bless with a greater blessing? A. Neither. B. Both equally. C. Ephraim. D. Manasseh. The correct answer is C. Ephraim. The explanation. His younger brother will be greater than he. Genesis chapter 48 verse 19. This unexpected blessing echoed God's pattern of choosing the younger. Divine purposes often work contrary to human assumptions about primacy and privilege. You're doing great so far. If you're enjoying the quiz, hit the like button and subscribe for more Bible quiz content. Share your score in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive back in. Question 28. What request did Joseph make regarding his bones? A. Immediate burial in Canaan. B. Burial in an Egyptian pyramid. C. Scatter them in the Nile. D. Carry them to Canaan when leaving. The correct answer is D. Carry them to Canaan when leaving. The explanation. God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up from this place. Genesis chapter 50 verse 25. This prophetic Bible declaration demonstrates covenant faithfulness and messianic hope, as Joseph's faith aligned with God's promises to Abraham about the promised land. Question 29. How old was Joseph when he died? A. 110 years old. B. 130 years old. C. 90 years old. D. 120 years old. The correct answer is A. 110 years old. The explanation. So Joseph died at the age of 110. Genesis chapter 50 verse 26. His long life witnessed God's blessing and protection. A life lived in faith leaves a legacy that impacts future generations. Question 30. In which historical period do Joseph's descendants eventually leave Egypt? A. The Judges period. B. The Babylonian exile. C. The Exodus. D. The Roman period. The correct answer is C. The Exodus. The explanation. Moses fulfilled Joseph's request during the Exodus, Exodus chapter 13 verse 19. This showed how God fulfills his promises across generations. Faith looks forward to God's faithfulness even beyond our lifetime. Congratulations on completing all 30 questions. Thank you for joining us on today's quiz here on Bible QuizTube. Your engagement, every comment, like, and shared insight makes this community truly special. Together, we grow closer to God's Word with every question answered. Did today's questions challenge you? Share your score and thoughts in the comments. Your insight could inspire someone else and light the way for others. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell for tough Bible quizzes, trivia, and encouragement that inspire and challenge. Have a question or topic you'd love us to explore? Drop it in the comments. Your curiosity shapes the content we create and helps us grow together. Remember, every question brings us one step closer to understanding His truth. Until next time, may His word guide your steps and light your path. See you in the next challenging Bible quiz. Stay blessed.